Hey, I just wanted to give my take on the gun rights issue, because, I mean, it seemed like it would be common sense if a regular Joe Schmo like myself could understand it. You would think that people that, I guess, went to Harvard and, they got the top educations, and not to bash them, not bashing nobody, the ones that got the top jobs and top executives, presidents of companies, scholars, or ain't this what all these people in government supposed to be, the politicians? Don't they supposed to be like the experts, the best of their field? Or was they just propelled to make it seem like they the best of their field? Because, it was no other face there. You understand what I'm saying? Their face is just known. But if it's easy for somebody like me to understand it, then you would think somebody like that would be able to understand it. But, you know, the Constitution says whatever it says, you should make no law. Basically, that contradicts any law that's already granted in the Constitution. Basically, the Constitution is the law of the land. If anything goes against that, it is declared null and void. That's the Constitution. Plain and simple. If you have to go any further than that, then you really don't understand. You don't understand. I mean, like, if we had to even debate past this point, then, you know, I mean, maybe it's my job to help educate you, or maybe it's your job to go educate yourself or get educated on the matter. But if I make a law that say no law can contradict or abolish this law, then no matter what law that you put on the book that come after that goes against that first law is null and void. Plain and simple. How can you discuss gun rights when the Constitution clearly says that the Second Amendment of the Constitution says that we had the right to bear arms? It's cut and dry. I mean, if I need to go get the dictionary, I go get the dictionary to see what bear arms mean. But you know, in my understanding of it, and probably like 99% of the other people, including the people who supposedly against it, even they understand that the right to bear arms means that you have the right to possess guns. But see, they try to take the possess in the gun because they made up the word. They try to take that and claim that they have jurisdiction over. So if that's the case, then yeah, go ahead and ban possession of guns, but don't ban our right to own a firearm. So that's two totally different things. And I do support the Second Amendment because, I mean, anybody with any real common sense will know that if it's 10 men in the room all trying to take over, it has to be one man left. If it's one gun, all 10 of the men are going to fight to get the gun, right? Now, if you had the same scenario where all the men already have a gun, now it's just going to be a plain shootout. It's going to be said and done, quick, it's over. You understand what I'm saying? All right. That don't help prove my point. Well, let me tell you this. If all 10 of the men knew that it was one of them had was going to live out of 10 men that have a gun, I think people would probably second guess and say, no, I'm not going to enter in that competition because I might not be the one to make it. So, and the saying goes, you got a choice. If you're walking around with a gun, firearm, if you're walking around with a firearm and you know that 10 people in a 5 meter vicinity, a 5 yard vicinity, if you know that somebody is in eyesight of you, there's 10 men in eyesight of you with a gun, you're a career criminal, you rob people. Would you go rob any one of those men on that block? If it was 10 men on one street, if it was 10 men sitting on a porch, and one of them didn't have a gun, would you go over there? I mean, ask yourself this. Would you go with your gun and try to rob 10 people with guns? Would that even cross your mind? It wouldn't. And on top of that, scientific studies showed that, where there are more firearms in these particular regions, cities, states, or districts, or whatever you want to call it, where there's firearms, there's less crime. Where there's less firearms, there's more crime. These are statistics from decades of research. It's not just like somebody woke up and they just looked at the last couple months. No, you got to understand when these studies start and when they end. You got to understand where these studies are being conducted, who's conducting them, and how they're being conducted. You got to understand all that, and you can understand it just by reading. Just reading. All it is reading. It's fundamental. All you got to do is read one of the papers of the research studies. They have pre-research. They have when they conducted the research, and they got the conclusion of the research. So, I guess the pre part of it is when they giving you their theories and what they're expecting to happen and stuff like that. So the stuff is out here. What I'm saying, I'm not gonna go too deep into detail. I'm pretty sure if you got common sense, you can understand what I'm saying. The research is out here if we just take a couple minutes. It's only a couple minutes. Shit, in life we live in how many days, years, and decades? That shit equals how many seconds? My calculator. Matter of fact, seconds, that's maybe two. How many minutes do that equals? Let me get my calculator. You know what? I'm not even going to get my calculator. What I'm going to say is 1 year worth of minutes, if you can't take 2 or 3 of those minutes that you have in a year, just to research something for your own benefit, so it can give you, it'll give you the ability to make a wise decision in future events, whatever. You never know what the future holds, so you never know what type of information you may need to get you through tomorrow. So it starts with research. One research topic will lead you to another research topic. Articles will lead you to other authors, and authors will lead you to other articles, and so on and so forth. I like to watch Alex Jones, just my preference. He follows the news, so he basically follows the top articles throughout the world for the most part. So, he's a little bit ahead of the game, just a little bit. But that's one type of research, because he recommends articles that you can then go read and research even further. Research never stops. But all you need is a couple minutes to understand certain points that you're trying to understand when you're trying to do something. For instance, and then I'm going to end this video, Bitcoin. Right? What does that have to do with this? It had to do a lot with it, because it's all about the knowledge that they presenting. Now, they're not telling us. Let's ask these congressmen this before I get into Bitcoin. Matter of fact, I'm going to save Bitcoin for another video, because it's a whole total different topic anyway, and it's going to get off point. We're trying to talk about the Second Amendment and why we support it and why we should keep it around. You understand what I'm saying? We need to ask these congressmen, what is the main reason why they don't want gun possession? What is wrong with gun possession? Are they scared for their lives? It can't be the fact that they're scared for their lives, because most of them might not even live in these communities. And if they do, all right, then we can go with that argument. But what would it do you justice to be able to protect yourself instead of putting your life in strangers' hands? That's the only question. That's the biggest debate about the Second Amendment. Would you put your life in a stranger's hands, or would you prefer to put your life in your own hands? Yeah, we all believe in God. We got our belief in God. Satan believe in God. It's not a debate. Most people believe in God. But when it comes down to human, physical encounters, how you gonna protect yourself? Because God can't jump in the middle of it and hold both of y'all back. It's up to you as an individual to make the wise decision. Either walk away from that dispute and avoid injury altogether. And if you're walking away from it, and your aggressor is actually stalking you and trying to provoke you, then, I believe that you should be able to defend yourself and not face prosecution over that. And one thing about Baltimore, Maryland, if you try to defend yourself, you're going to catch a charge in the court system just for trying to defend yourself. Although you might can beat it, you still got to sit over the jail, you still got to be charged with bail, and you still got to go through the hassle of another man. Another man should never dictate one man's life. It should never be laws set up that allows another man to dictate my life. I don't need dictators in my life. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why I believe the Constitution was set up, so that if you want to be independent, you can be independent, and you don't have to worry about anybody trampling over you, trying to dictate to you just because you're independent. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if you're in their system voluntarily, that's an entirely different story. You know what I mean? They have every right to do what they do because you consented with your signature on whatever contract you signed to get in. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to need an ID and a signature. So that's my take on the Second Amendment. I will hope that you can, see both sides and actually pick wisely, because the fact is, we got to live in these neighborhoods. We can call the police, but they don't come. They don't come fast enough. They not deep enough to handle it. And 9 times out of 10, when they come, they gotta wait for backup. They not gonna just go in there alone. So if you got an ISIS member running around here with a gun, how are we supposed to protect ourselves? We supposed to let 20 people get killed and wait till the police come? No, we should be able to protect ourselves. They need to get rid of that law that's saying that we can't defend ourselves. What type of craziness is that? They need to take a report, do an investigation, and then if arrest need to happen, then they can come back later and arrest the culprit. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, this is common sense stuff. It's not rocket science. You understand what I'm saying? Stuff that we all can agree with. You see, these people that's running over top, but see, they getting money to watch this stuff happen. So that's why they don't want it to change. And you telling me these congressmen, this is the first time they hear something about this gun issue? It's not the first time they hear something about it. They don't want to do nothing about it. I'm pretty sure they heard about it before. They didn't go research it then after they heard about it. So am I supposed to trust that they're going to research it now? Am I supposed to trust that they're going to have a change of heart now? No. Y'all the enemies. That's what it is. See, the thing about it, see, when y'all doing things to go against our will, see, we as the people, we need to stand up and say that y'all the enemies. And that's how we going to start looking at y'all as the enemies, because y'all working against y'all working against our liberty, our freedoms. You understand? Y'all living in palaces. Y'all getting money from foreigners, from foreign illegal activities, corruption and stuff like that. That's what politicians doing. So how we supposed to trust y'all? You understand what I'm saying? So we need to hold y'all accountable. We need addresses. We need work locations. We need all that, because if we ever have a dispute, we need to come knock on the door and we need to talk about it face to face. Because obviously these videos, the phone calls, the letters is not doing it. So now we're gonna have to show up in person. And I'm telling you, this is what it's coming to, because y'all not hearing it, and y'all keep on letting our people get killed off, and then wait until they get killed off, and then try to say something about it, and then put a new episode of fucking Power or what's the other one? Put a new episode on TV and make people forget all about it, and then sweep it under the rug. You feel what I'm saying? No, we tired of that. We need it different. We need to change. If y'all ain't gonna stand up for us, y'all gonna stop us from standing up for ourselves. Now, if y'all do that, y'all becoming our enemies. So we don't want to become enemies with y'all. We want to believe that y'all have our best interests, that y'all took that oath to uphold the Constitution. That's what we want. That's what we, as the people, that's what we want. We want our Second Amendment rights to be intact at all times, no compromises. We want all of our amendments. We want all our rights that we were inherently born with. We want to remain intact at all times. And if not, some prosecution's going to have to start happening, for real. Because these people that's in office and they got these big houses, they don't care about us because they live in them big houses. Because see, if we was to come back to them big houses, we could house 70, maybe more people, 50. Who knows how big these houses are, how many rooms they have. Who knows who the culprit might be that we might have to end up litigating against. and you know, taking that property. Who knows how many rooms and garages it might have. So maybe that's what we need to start doing, taking that properties and opening up whole communities and just, you know, re-educating our people to fit the agenda of what's going on with this God situation. We not all this satanic stuff. We need it out. You know what I mean? And I'm speaking from a sane mind. You know, if any disputes or anything, then obviously you're not on the same side as God, because obviously that's the side I'm on. I'm professing it with my tongue, willingly, openly, voluntarily, loud, so everybody can hear. So if you're not on my side, you're on the side of the devil, plain and simple. God is love. God is peace. That's what we want. We want love. We want peace. We want to be able to protect ourselves. And we want to be able to go out and travel the world freely without some fucking government agency harassing us. Excuse my French. There might be kids watching. Excuse me, kids. But please look deeply into these issues. You understand what I'm saying? It's not going to be the first time you see my face, because, you know, I understand I have a voice. I understand I had a voice for years. It's just, you know, I chose to not use my voice. That's my choice, because I have free will. I understand what, you know, is a responsibility with using your voice. Whether you know it or not, is a responsibility. You got to be liable for what you say. You understand what I'm saying? You got to be. So, if you're not willing to be a man about what you say, you're not willing to speak up for yourself, then motherfuckers just gonna be taking your money from you and taking your property forever, for the rest of your life. So you gotta stand up sometime. You gotta stand up at some time. If not, it's gonna come down to the point where you ain't gonna have no choice but to sit on your ass and lay down and wait for a check, and you're gonna just be stuck in that state. So it's for the people, it's for the congressmen. We all need to, you know, join sides and come to the middle where God at. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to my channel. I got other videos on there that you might like, you know, other activities and things going on that you might be interested in, no matter what walk of life you come from. I'm rather versatile. I'm a jack of all trades, so I can entertain you however you need to be entertained. I can teach you. I can show you things, and we can grow together if that's your mission. So, you get with me? I'm C. Peace.